and this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Ford Mondeo 1.8 diesel estate. This particular car is registered GK59YXU, and mileage at the start of the road test is 110,979 miles. The reason we do these videos is basically so that if you're looking at the car in an advert online, you actually get to see that very car in operation. I rarely do it actually on the trade videos. This is what we call one of the part exchange to clear cars. So they're sold at a much lower price than ordinarily they would be. Just to obviously clear the website for our Honda stocks. We're Honda specialists, basically. That's our core of our business. But the car just drives so nicely. It really does. As I say in the advert, cosmetically, it's a red car, but it's dulled in places. It needs just a really good machine polish, it looks like, to bring up a lot of the panels, bit of elbow grease. I haven't got the time at the moment to do anything like that, and I'm rubbish at it, to be brutally honest with you. So rather than making it look 10 times worse, I'll leave it alone, but sell the car a lot less than it should be. But that isn't a reflection on how the car drives at all, because the car drives absolutely brilliantly. When the chap picked up his Honda from us yesterday, I had my first opportunity to drive the car because we'd done everything long distance. But it was nice to get back in the Mondeo, because I used to work for Ford years and years and years ago when they first launched the Mondeo, actually. That shows how long ago it was. But it's a fabulous car to drive. But to go through it, just to do the normal things I always do. Starting with the engine, starts absolutely instantly. Settles to completely smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights at all on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car, but the engine pulls really, really well. It's very strong. As soon as it gets on the turbo, it really picks up and goes. And even by modern standards, it's smooth and it's quiet in operation. But yeah, really nice power plant in the car. Clutch in the car is spot on. It's got smooth and actuation. Again, bike point is exactly where it's meant to be on the pedal travel, so all good there. 6-speed manual gearbox, typical of Ford. They always do a nice gear change, and this one's no different. It's very slick, precise. I can't feel any obvious wear in the linkage at all. It feels as precise as it would have ever done in its production, and just a joy to use day in, day out. Steering of the car and the chassis of the car, the Mondeo's always been brilliant as a driver's car, because it's one of those unique cars, in all honesty. And I love my Hondas, but even they'll readily admit that Ford chassis technology is pretty spectacular, because what they actually give you is a really beautifully balanced car in extremes of driving. It is a fantastic car, but it manages to give you a wonderfully compliant, very, very comfortable ride. And to get those two together is a really hard thing for manufacturers to achieve, and very few do. But Ford have always, whatever they've found, it's a little bit of a magic trick or something, I don't know, but it is simply brilliant. And driving the car now, it all feels so tight. Steering tracks dead straight. There's no vibrations coming back through the steering wheel at this speed, or any speed up to the legal limit. And the chassis itself, what I'm looking for when I'm going over bumps, and there's a nasty one about to come up, I'll wait to get to it in a second. Is this one coming up here? That one there. It's always a good test for it, because basically you'll hear it hitting the bump, but what you don't want to be hearing is sort of knocking noises or chatterings from underneath, and there's nothing at all. It all feels really, really tight on the road, which is lovely. Brakes on the car, just wait to make sure there's no one behind me. Just give them a shove. I know they're good, but really good brake pedal on the vehicle. Again, what I'm looking for there is basically that it pulls the car nice and straight, which it does, but also that there's no obvious kind of pulsing or vibrations coming back to the brake pedal when you hit the brakes hard. So all absolutely fine in that respect. Looking around inside the car, it's been a family car. It needs a bit of a clean, but it's actually quite clean. It's not one of these cars that will never be clean. It actually will. It just needs an afternoon spending on it. And that's not to put it down at all. It isn't. It's actually a really nice car. It's been kept nicely in here. It's very nicely built. There's no squeaks, no rattles at all from the interior. It feels like a much younger car to drive. The whole car does. That's the impression I get with the vehicle, is it doesn't feel a car that's done the miles or is the age it is, because it just feels like a much more modern. In fact, it drives better than virtually all modern cars I currently drive, in lots of ways. As I said at the start of the video, sorry, I come back to the interior. I mean, everything, looking inside here, all the gauges seem to work. I've not pressed every single button. It's got dual zone climate control system, radio works perfectly, but it's all nicely put together. Very simple to sort of get in, jump and drive, as they always tend to be. But as I said, start the video, the whole point of it's literally as brief as it is, because it's a bit shorter than I do for our main stock. But I just wanted to show the car whilst I had 5 minutes in operation, and to feedback on any issues, of which there's nothing at all. It drives absolutely beautifully.